Welcome to the January 13th edition of Midweek Missions, our weekly mission update of First Baptist Nixa. The aim of this weekly video series is to keep our members apprised of the ministry of our mission partners. And our hope is that this will foster a stronger connection between the members and the missionaries of First Baptist Nixa and provide us with a weekly opportunity to pause and to pray intentionally and specifically for our missionaries. Today we're going to be focusing upon M and C, who are our mission partners in Southeast Asia. Now, because we have some missionaries who serve in restricted areas, we don't want to do anything that would compromise the security of their ministry. So we won't be using any names or locations or pictures in reference to a couple of our mission partners. But our members know who they are, and you can pray for these missionaries specifically and by name. Now, M and C have been mission partners of First Baptist Nixa since 2017, and we had the joy of bringing them to First Baptist Nixa in October when they were home on furlough, and we heard all about the Lord has been doing through their ministry. Specifically, they are involved in regular evangelism and discipleship among the Muslim population of their country, and they train others in evangelism as well. They help to equip the local churches, and they are actually in the process of planting a church of their own in their particular city. Now, M and C and their family have been home for much of 2020, along with most missionaries around the world during this COVID pandemic. But they will be returning, Lord willing, in January, and they are looking forward to resuming their ministry. I received very recently an update from them that I would like to relate to you so that you can know what's going on with their ministry and you can be praying specifically for them. They write, at the end of April 2020, our family returned to the States after serving one term with the mission agency in our country. We have thoroughly enjoyed reconnecting with family and close friends during the course of the last 8 months. Additionally, we have cherished the moments of reconnecting with existing church partners and establishing many new connections and relationships. In fact, we had the opportunity to connect with more than 15 churches during our time in the States. What a joy it was to worship with you at your church and to get to meet so many of your members. Thank you for your continued prayer support and encouragement. Over the last few weeks, our family has been making plans and preparations to return to the mission field. However, this has come with difficulty and challenges. In short, we were scheduled to depart tomorrow until an announcement was made by the country's government that would make it nearly impossible to meet all of the criteria for re-entry, namely entering the country within 3 days of receiving a negative COVID test result. This governmental announcement was to help reduce the amount of travel during the holiday season. Therefore, we have made the decision to book our return flights for later on in January. While it is still our plan to depart in mid-January, the country's government just announced a 2-week lockdown period in effect from January 1st to January 14th, where they are not allowing any foreigners to enter their country. This announcement has come on the heels of the confirmation of the new variant of the coronavirus that has been detected in England, Australia, and now in the United States. While we are still hopeful for a January departure, much of that will depend upon the government's comfort level with foreign travelers entering their country amidst the potential outbreak of this new mutation of the virus. So please pray for our situation and that we would soon get clarity for when we might be able to return to the mission field. In addition, I asked them to provide 3 specific prayer points that we might know how we may be praying for them, and this is what they sent back. Number 1, in order to enter our country without having to do a mandatory quarantine in a government-determined location or facility, we have to arrive with a document showing a negative COVID test within 7 days of our departure from the States. This is challenging because it has to be a swab test, and labs are stating that they will have results available within 2 to 5 days. With it taking 1.5 days to travel to our country, we are planning to depart 5 days after our tests are taken. So please pray that our tests come back no later than 4 days after we are all tested. Number two, please pray for our transition back to the field, especially for our kids. We have been in the States now for 8 months, and our kids have really enjoyed time with their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins, and close friends. It will be hard for them to leave, but they have all expressed a willingness to return to our country. Pray that the transition goes smoothly and that they will quickly remember all of the things they love and they enjoy about their new adopted home. Number three, pray for opportunities for us to reconnect back into the ministries that we were a part of previously, and also that the Lord would continue to open up new doors. Specifically, pray that we would be able to identify groups of believers who are desiring to be mobilized to join the work of reaching the lost throughout our province. Recently, our national partner has had 2 new opportunities to train and mobilize, and I'm praying that we would continue to have many more. So if I could restate that, number one, we need to pray for the logistics of their return with regard to the coronavirus. Number two, we need to pray for their transition back to the field, especially for their kids. It's tough to spend 8 months in the States with all of the conveniences and all of the relationships, and then to go back to a place that is unfamiliar, a place that is not home, even though they've been there for 3 years. And then third, we'll be praying for their ministries, specifically that they would be able to reconnect with the people that they had developed relationships and continue to expand and influence individuals and churches for the glory of Christ in their mission field. As you pray through these prayer points, we're going to put up a 1-minute timer, after which the video will conclude. Of course, you can feel free to pray longer if the Lord so leads, but our hope is that as a church, we would devote at least a moment to pray specifically and to intercede specifically for this couple before the Lord.